Without further ado, I am Richard Cook. I am your host. I want to talk about overcoming obstacles. Overcoming obstacles. One of my greatest sitcoms growing up was named The $6 Million Man. The $6 Million Man, his name was Steve Austin. Before he became the $6 Million Man, which is a bionic man, he was just a runner. He's outside running, minded his own business. He gets into a tragic accident. As a result of him getting into a tragic accident, he's laying there on the table. Every bone in his body is broken. His mind is gone. He can't think. He can't move. He's laying there helpless. Now to us, it may appear as if he's no more good. In this modern day vernacular, we call him a vegetable. So he may appear as if he's a vegetable. He may appear as if there's nothing left to him but to die, but for somebody to pull the plug on him. The doctors are standing over him, but they're not looking at him for who he is on the table. They're looking at him for who he can be. In fact, they say, we can make him stronger. We can make him better. We can heal him from this current place. All we have to do is go in, and wherever he's weak at, wherever he's bleeding, wherever he's broken, we can heal him. Isn't that like God? When everybody else counted us out, God is always there to count us in. With every bone broken in our body, when we can't even think straight and we feel worthless, God is there looking at us. And he said, no, we can make him stronger. I can make him better. I can make him faster. I can make him wiser. And what seems to be helpless to everybody else, God comes in and thinks the unthinkable and does the impossible. Because whatever is possible for man, whatever is impossible for man, is always possible for God. Even when we're in a broken state and our pain is speaking to us louder than our solution, louder than our healing, louder than God's voice, it's when God comes in and he tells you that everything will be all right. But the question we have to ask ourselves is, what's stopping us? What's stopping us? What's stopping us from allowing God to heal us? What's stopping us from allowing God to use us? What are the things that's preventing us from being all that he created us to be? For us to walk in our purpose, and to walk on purpose, and to walk with purpose. What's stopping us? One of the things that stops us is because we're afraid to allow God to open us up. What do I mean by that? We're so afraid to allow God to open us up because we don't know the necessary scalpel that he may use. We don't know the tools that he may use to open us up. And because we don't know the tools that he may use to open us up, we would rather deal with the pain than deal with God. And it's not that we don't really trust him, but sometimes we get so scared at the maneuvering he may do. We get so scared at how he may go about it because it may cost us some friendships. It may cost us some relationships. It may cost us some vices that we like. And it may cost us some habits that we like. But if we go through it, if we operate in the law of discipline that just says, I'm just going to let God have his way, instead of operating in the law of regret. The law of regret says that if I continue to do as I'm doing, operating in these pleasurable moments, that's only going to last me 5 seconds, 30 seconds. If I continue to go to McDonald's, if I continue to have these bad habits and continue to go out there and drink heavy liquor knowing that it may mess up my liver. If I continue to do these, then sure, the pleasure lasts for 10 minutes, but the pain associated after the pleasurable moment ultimately ends up in regret. So we have to begin to rethink what we think about. You have to take a moment and say to yourselves, at this juncture, I'm going to allow God to open me up. Because all he's going to do is make you stronger, make you wiser, and make you better. He's going to do the impossible on you. He's going to make you the best that you could ever be. And while everybody else is looking at the table and call you a vegetable and say that you're never going to be anything, they see you in your pain. So much so that you're unconscious and you can't even see your pain. Or sometimes we're so used to having pain that pain has become our normal. But God is saying, if you allow me to open you up, if you become vulnerable to me, then and only then I can use you greatly. But unfortunately for some of us, that's too far-fetched. But you have to make up in your mind going forward that today is the day that I begin to allow God to use me. Because given all the other things that you've tried every medication, you've been on so many pills, you've tried the dating scene, you've been on a million dates, you've tried to save money only to spend it, only to spend money that you've never had. You've tried so many things you've taken medicine to try to create some level of happiness in your life or create some level of peace. You've tried all of these things. But I'm saying to you, if you try the one person that holds the whole world in his hand. My grandmother used to say he holds the little bitty baby in his hand. My mother used to say he holds you and I in his hand. And if you allow him to open you up, I promise you that once he finishes the surgery, he'll open you up, put things in your blood, put things in your body, put things in your mind that you never ever thought that you were capable of doing. If you allow him to open you up. You know, one of the things, as I close, one of the things that Steve Jobs is the founder of Apple. Steve Jobs, in his memoir, he said that he could have saved himself. When he first initially heard that he had cancer, the doctor said, we can go in and we can remove the cancer. Steve Jobs didn't want them to go in. In fact, he didn't want them to go in because, in his words, he said, I was afraid for them to open me up. It wasn't until later on that he allowed them to. But the cancer, my friends, had already spread. The cancer had went all over his body. And so he could have saved himself. But he didn't want to be opened up. And God just wants to go in and cut some of the cancers out of your life. The friends that don't mean you no good. He just wants to cut some of the cancers out of your life. The cousin in them, or the ones that stabbed you in the back. He just wants to go in and cut some things out of your life. The bad habits that you have. He just wants to cut some of the cancers out of your life. The stinking thinking, the bad thinking that you have. He wants to go in and just cuts the cancers out of your life. Because if he cuts the cancer out of your life, he's not like everybody else. He's not just going to sew you up and wait for you to heal. He's going to sew you up so that you can heal and be better than what you've ever been before. So my friends, today is the day. The choice is yours. When either you want to become better or you want to become bitter. Either you want to heal from all your past hurts or continue to thrive in all your past pains. Either you want to be the person that you were called to be, to walk in purpose, to walk on purpose, and to function like you have a purpose. Your calling is great. And I'm not talking about the calling that everybody else has on you. But I am talking about the calling that God has on you. God loves you beyond your faults. He loves you beyond all your past mistakes. He loves you beyond your past flaws. That when he clearly sees you in the mirror, when he clearly sees you, he doesn't see you as you look at yourself in the mirror. Because oftentimes when we go look at ourselves in the mirror, we're always looking at the acne. We're always looking at the stretch marks. We're always looking at the blemishes. But God is not looking at the blemishes. He's not worried about, your blemishes. He's looking past your blemishes. Today is the day. I know that your life is going to get better. Because why? At this juncture, you're going to let God open you up so that he can heal you and make you better. You are somebody. You're greater than the person that you look at in the mirror every day. You're greater than what they called you. You're greater than your worst pain. So today we take the opportunity and say, yes, God, use me as you want. Because I know that on the other side of this pain, there's healing. I know on the other side of my weaknesses, there's strength. I know on the other side of my horrific, painful memories, there's joy, there's peace, and there's happiness. God loves you, my friend. God loves you, my friend. And I love you too. And I want this day to be the day that you make a choice that I want to become better than the person I was yesterday. Have a great night. Know that God loves you. He loves you.